Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Well, a little quick news, right? Huey Fury, the cousin of Tyson Fury, heavyweight challenger, very good heavyweight, young, just beat Marius Vac, right? A unanimous decision, pretty much won every round except maybe the first round. Was able to outbox him, but in the middle of that fight, them eyes, he got cut again from a headbutt, but it seems to be getting susceptible to cuts a lot. His fight against Pulev was the same thing. Let's hope those cuts don't stop this boy from being what he could possibly be one day, and as a heavyweight champion. I think he's going to be hard pressed to do that because of those eyes. He's talented, but because of those eyes. So he was able to muck up the fight and realize that, okay, from the outside I was getting picked off a few times. So he started mauling your boy Marius Vac and trying to just get in there. And he did what he had to do to win in an ugly fight. Other news, just to keep it moving. Other news is the promoter from Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn. We all know him. If you know anything about boxing, he's a very high-profile promoter out from England. Eddie Hearn says that right after the Anthony Joshua Pulev fight, I'm going directly into negotiations and making sure to finishing negotiations with Tyson Fury, so we can present all the sanctioning bodies that we got an undisputed fight and a deal is done. Right? So he's going to accelerate the deal. He says it's only those small things that's going to be in the deal between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Obvious things like who's going to come in the ring first, who's going to be on the poster on the left side and the right side. Those kind of things that we don't think about, but those things are important. To who's going to be this A side. For people who's been arguing about A side lately, those kind of things, right? A side, and they don't worry about money. Right, so it is what it is. So those are the only kind of things, but they can be ironed out in a big fight. But it's just to note that, hey, we're going to try to mobilize a whole lot of things to make sure this undisputed fight happens. Now, because of Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, you notice that they don't never just say, hey, we want the undisputed fight between, Anthony Joshua and the winner of Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, right? Because I'm telling you what the deal is. Like I said before, I'm just repeating myself. If Deontay Wilder beats Tyson Fury, all this is off. Then all of a sudden, we don't care if it's going to be the WBO mandatory. Just like Alexander Povetkin back in the day, right? When we couldn't get the one of the Wembley, couldn't get it in September of 2017 or 2018, remember? Couldn't get it. We can't get the fight. Then all of a sudden, Povetkin becomes the mandatory and he has to be fought. And he really didn't have to, stuff like that. And they didn't say, hey, well, forget that. We got the deal signed with Deontay Wilder. All the people back off, right? Like they want to do now. Eddie Hearn has said it. I'm going to put the article in the description box. Boom. We'll get with the WBO to make sure they say, Usyk, we should be able to get around this stuff. But he also says if we can't get around it with the WBO, because all the other ones should fall in line, then we'll vacate and make the fight with Tyson Fury happen. Which means undisputed is not that important, right? Which it should be. That's what all this should be about. So we just got to see what the energy is going to be, because we keep forgetting that Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury probably won't fight again. And for those who are just saying, well, maybe they wouldn't, they supposed to fight again. They should fight again, right? Regardless of what we're saying, we had 2 fights, and we're supposed to have a third one, right? That's what is supposed to happen. So when that happens, when Deontay Wilder wins that fight, are we going to have the same energy for undisputed? Or, hey, I want to beat the guy that beat Tyson Fury. That's also a big fight. Because let's not say it's going to be smaller. Because we got to remember this. Back when Deontay Wilder and your boy Anthony Joshua was going to fight, everyone was saying that was going to be the biggest fight in history in England. Right? That's what was said then. So it's not a small fight all of a sudden. Especially if Deontay Wilder beats Tyson Fury. And then it still would be an undisputed fight. Let's just see if we all going to want it then. That's where I'm getting at. Doing Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all. It's time for Anthony Joshua and Pulev.